Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe here. I want to talk about this drama that erupted in the fitness online space, especially on YouTube, and that is Jeff Nipper. Jeff Nipper got attacked by another bodybuilder called Mike Van Wyck, and now this guy, Mike, is charged with assault. I think it's a petty reason. The reason why I make this video, I'm going to share it at the end. I think it's absolutely uncalled for, and I don't know how this guy could even lose his temper over a little bit of a dispute in the online space. So here's what happened. I want to show you this. I read this yesterday. So apparently that's Jeff right here. Watch this. So that's Jeff right here on the right side. So he walks up to the big guy and boom, he gets jabbed. My God. And I think it happened twice. It happened twice. It was a pure muscle at a fitness location, and now Mike is charged with 2 counts of assault. And as you can see, Jeff is way smaller than Mike. Doesn't make sense. Then Jeff gave a statement, said, "Hey, I'm fine, but come on, man, you don't do this." And now the whole fitness YouTube is talking about it, me included, because I think it's relevant for one particular reason. And then he went to get a CT scan. It's all good. Now, why did this happen? I think it happened because they were having a back and forth on social media. And I think Big Mike doesn't like Jeff because Jeff is a science-based YouTuber, has a big following. There's also maybe, some envy, some jealousy involved. And what I can understand from a very work perspective, I'm not saying that Jeff is implying this, but I can understand it to a certain extent, is when you have an expert like Jeff is, who is known in his science field, that he knows how to read studies, he has accomplished some things, and he has a large following, that sometimes people misunderstand him as being Mr. Know-It-All. So they think, all right, just because you have this, and that doesn't mean that you know everything. And then they get mad at the guy for being an expert or for exercising his or her gifts, whoever that might be. And I'm not implying that Jeff is actually acting like he knows everything, but this just might be the implication. It happened in my case to a certain extent as well, that some folks, because I love kettlebells, I'm a nerd, I talk to everybody, and I've had some philosophies that are built up which go against certain other philosophies that I don't see make any sense or don't make as much sense according to my knowledge and the way I evaluate everything, that these guys on the opposite side, if there is even an opposite side, I think the only thing that we have is just a debate or discussion about one particular tool or training philosophy, and at the end we can push it forward. But that being said, these people do not like me for that matter. They say, well, Gregory or Lebe, this guy is obnoxious, he thinks he knows everything, he criticizes, blah, 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 that's why he's stupid, he wants to piggyback off of everything, blah, 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 right? So that just might happen. But an altercation at the end of the day, where somebody then really walks up to you and gets mad because you actually said something online, and I guarantee you, I didn't watch the full video. This is the full video that Jeff posted. Jeff is not aggressive. This is a very polite and cool dude. Why should you take this as being some form of grounds to then attack the guy when you've been having a back and forth online with Mike, with the tattooed guy, being the one who did it in the first place, who got started with this whole thing. And it's probably a culmination of everything that has built up. And what this tells me is it's either a personal issue that you have as a human being, you have anger management issues. It's maybe the lifting with the roids combined, which maybe, burns up a couple of wires in your brain, and now you get that type of rage, which we've also heard about, and you can't control your emotions and your anger. And this is, I believe, that's the reason why I make this video. This should be called out for. I think it's right, a good thing that this guy got charged. And if you are a fitness influencer or a guru or a trainer, you should be a walking example of professionalism in every and any situation. I'm not saying that you cannot make mistakes. We all make them. Maybe in one situation you give a comment or a reply where you get a little bit heated in the moment. That's totally fine. But at the end of the day, especially when we engage with people, interactions one-on-one, we're supposed to behave ourselves. Now, here's the thing. I'm not perfect at this, right? Some people see me exercising my gifts and see what I do, and they think, wow, Gregory's always professional, always polite, blah, blah, blah. Well, I try this from the bottom of my heart, but just recently it's not an altercation, but I had a situation with somebody where I also got a little bit heated, and then I just walked away because I didn't want to elevate my blood pressure anymore because it got boiling. So I have to learn this too. And I think it deserves to be called out if it happens. And in that case, I had somebody who was fairly aggressive towards me, not an aggressive in a sense of in an emotional sense, but in the way this guy behaved. But in this case, it was just an altercation or a back and forth between on Instagram, on YouTube, or via videos, where I don't think Jeff took a stand where he was actively promoting some type of aggression against this guy or walking around saying, I'm gonna fight this dude. So this is just absolutely bogus. And the cool thing about it is that Jeff now gets massive exposure. You know, TMZ talks about it, right? And they call him a star bodybuilder. So other outlets talk about it. YouTube talks about it. A lot of content creators talk about it. So this elevates Jeff's status. And here's the golden nugget at the end of this video. The opposite probably happened. If Mike would have just engaged normally with Jeff, they probably had some agreements as well. They would have found some common ground to stand on. But since he punched the guy and attacked him and now gets charged, he did the opposite. The Barbara Streisand effect. He's like, I don't like this dude. I hate this Jeff guy. I hate this science guy. Blah, 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 blah. He thinks he's so awesome. He's so big, blah, blah, blah. This guy knows nothing. He doesn't have a great physique, blah, blah, blah. So he was talking down on Jeff all the time. And if you don't like somebody, which is totally fine, not everybody has to get along with each other. I think one thing that I love is you have to pray for people. You have to be loving. And one mantra that I now use in my daily life is Tupac's motto, where he said, I want you to eat. I want you to have something to eat, just not at my table. I love this, right? So I love you, my man. Go, but go with God, right? Or go with God, but go. We don't have to be friends with everybody. I get this. It's just impossible, right? Based on so many people and so many different personalities that engage with each other. But if I don't like somebody, I keep it quiet, right? I stay cool, calm, composed as much as I can, especially online. But if I then engage with this guy and then I engage into very strange and stupid behavior, which then gets me a charge, plus I then give this guy way more exposure, I guarantee you this Mike guy is probably now mad at everybody, mad at the world. He's probably think he's in the right? So I punched this guy, I'm totally fine. And I wonder if the guy would have punched somebody else bigger or at his size, because I remember that Mike was at an expo and then I think Joey Stacks walked up to the guy. This is another YouTuber, fitness YouTuber, walked up to the guy and then they had some kind of back and forth and discussions, and Mike didn't punch Joey Stacks, right? Because he was probably scared that something's going to happen. I don't know if it was bullying or who cares at the end of the day, but Jeff got massive exposure. So the exact opposite of what Mike was hoping to get probably. If you don't like somebody, you don't want them to get more exposure and want everybody to know about their existence, but that's exactly what happened. I think sometimes this is interesting, this is funny, this is not just the world of fitness, this is just the world of being a human being. And in today's day and age where everything is televised and everybody can watch it, everybody can form their opinion, everybody can talk about it, well, this thing just gets elevated to the max, which, like I said, I think it's a good thing. So that's my take. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you know Jeff, if you know Mike, do you think Mike was in the right? Do you think Jeff was in the right? What happened? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Just so you know, we don't do this content normally. We're all into kettlebells. And I believe kettlebell training is perfect for over 40s, 50s, and 60s who want to get strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym because they don't want to get beat up there. You don't want to have some roided up dude walking into your face and then slapping you and get mad and then you punch back and then you have this fight. No, reserve that energy for kettlebells. I think they're awesome for our age group. And like and subscribe if you want to learn more about kettlebells, and if you want to take it to the next level, I have a great offer for you, my free ebook called The Kettlebell Code, where I teach you everything for free on how to get started with kettlebells. You'll find it in the first link in the description.